Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to see how to write a formal letter. In the ICSE English language, both for class 9 and 10, we have letter writing for 10 marks. There's an option. You can either choose a formal letter or an informal letter. So what are some of the important guidelines you need to keep in mind? This video contains all the council's suggestions that have been made in this year. This video is based on the latest recommendations or suggestions made by the council. So it is completely in sync, in accordance with the ICSE pattern. So first we will look at the format of a formal letter. You need to know the marking scheme so as to know where the marks lie. Now when you write a formal letter, first, keep in mind a formal letter is a letter to someone in authority, like a principal, a manager, or a police commissioner. Even the letter to an editor comes in the category of a formal letter. So, when you're writing the formal letter, this is the format you need to follow. The format has clear-cut bifurcation of marks. So, when you're writing the format, these points must be a part of your letter. So let's see what all is included. You need to begin with the from address, that is your address. It could be your home address or your school address. That carries half a mark. Next comes the date for half a mark. The to address. This is the address of the person to whom you're writing. So it could be the address of the principal, the address of the manager. That carries half a mark. Next comes the salutation. That is for half a mark. And finally, you have the subscription along with the signing off where you write your name and the surname. Now, both these are important. Now, here I have written initial because in some places, especially in the south, people might write an initial followed by a name. So that is perfectly acceptable by the council. Now, this carries half plus half. You just need to keep in mind that this in its entirety should be correct. If there's any mistake with the subscription, you will not get half a mark here also. So what are we looking here? The format carries 3 marks. If you just ensure that all these things are correct, you get your 3 marks. To get the content right, you need to know and pay attention to what exactly is asked in the question. And for expression, there are 5 marks. At this point, I just want you to know that these 5 marks are based on how well you have performed in the composition. So the marks given here have a direct relation with how much you have scored in the composition. So composition is important in case you want to do well in the formal letter as well, or for that matter, an informal letter. Now, let us look at some guidelines that you need to keep in mind. So when you write a formal letter, you begin with the from address. As I told you, this could be the address of your school or the address of your home. Sometimes you're writing from a boarding school or a hostel. In that case, it could be the address of the school. The most important thing you need to keep in mind is there should be no short forms in your address. Okay, now here's an example of an address that you could write. Make sure first that the address is at least of 3 lines. You could start from the specific and move on to the general. So I have started with the house number, maybe the name of the building or the colony or the society, then the name of the place and the name of the town. And then you could write the PIN code. Here actually the PIN code is really not important, but we all write, so you can carry or you may choose to avoid, it's up to you. Another important thing you need to keep in mind here is it's up to you whether you want to use the punctuation here or you do not want to use it. You could just give it a little, you can end it off with a full stop. My tip to you would be if you're using the punctuation, be consistent. Use it throughout. If you're not using, then do not use it at all. It should not happen that you put a comma here and then you forget to put a comma here. So either you use it throughout. If you are not using, it's fine. You can omit it. Next comes the date. When you're writing the date, you will write the date, the month, and the year. Now, the month The name of the month should be written in full. This is very important. If you write the month in short form, you lose marks. There should be no short forms. There should be an authentic date. Normally, it is the date on which you are writing your language paper. The year must be mentioned. So here in the box, there is one example how you can write the date. This is the only acceptable form. 30th August, 2020. So this is the way you need to write the date. You write the date, you write the TH, RD, ST, whatever is applicable. You can write it on the line. That is acceptable, that's desirable. Followed by the name of the month given in full. So if it's December, write full December. Do not write DEC. You can put a comma here and 2020 full stop. Next comes the to address. This should be the address of the person to whom you're writing the letter. Now here it's a formal letter to the police commissioner. So the address again should be at least of 3 lines. That's desirable. So you write the police commissioner. The designation is very important. The designation of the person to whom you are writing. There is no need of writing to over here. To the police commissioner. It's not required. Please don't write. Then comes the head office. This is a fictitious address. You could write something else you want. You could write police headquarters. That's up to you. And the town or the name of the place is important. So the designation and the town or the designation and the place is very important when you're writing a formal address, and then you could follow it with a pin code. Next comes the salutation. Just keep in mind that for every formal letter, the salutation is only dear sir. You could write dear sir or dear madam. Do not write dear ma'am. Or do not write dear sir / madam. That is again considered wrong. Do not write dear sir or / ma'am. Again, no short forms are to be used. The only acceptable form is dear sir or dear madam. My advice would be to just write dear sir. Next, we come to the body of the letter. Now, when you're writing the body of the letter, you need to first understand that this content will carry 2 marks. So first, you read the question very well. Focus on every aspect in the letter. If there is a letter of complaint, if you're supposed to write a letter of complaint, then you must highlight 2 problems, 2 complaints. It's a good idea to give 2 solutions or 2 recommendations, even if it's not specified in the question. The marks for the content are 2. There is half a mark per point. That means you need to write at least 4 clear-cut points touching upon the aspect in the letter. Every aspect, whatever has been asked in the letter, if you write that, at least half a mark is given per point. When you're writing the body of the letter, make sure that you write in paragraphs. You may stick to the margin. Now, we normally have a traditional format and we have the left alignment. So my advice to you is stick to the left alignment because it is the age of computers. Everybody is writing letters even on computers. So we stick to the left. You can stick to the margin, but to show a change of paragraph, you may leave a line. Use formal language. Remember, it's a formal letter. Use formal language. Be polite even if you're complaining, and write to the point. A rambling letter is not required. Just write to the point. Be brief. Finally, we come to the subscription. How do you end your letter? Now, when you're writing the subscription, do not write yours with an apostrophe S. If you write the apostrophe S, it is considered wrong. So here you can see it's yours faithfully. Do not put this apostrophe, that is wrong. Your name in the formal letter should be your full name, the name and the surname. So for example, I've written Mark Sanders. The name should not be in capital letters. If the name is in capital letters or there is a squiggle or a signature, okay, you write yours faithfully and just put a signature that could barely be understood, or you write your name in capital letters, it is not accepted. If there's an incorrect spelling in the subscription, for example, you forget to write yours, you write your faithfully, that's a mistake. If your spelling of faithfully is incorrect, you forget to write one small L, that will be considered incorrect. If the Y is not clearly a capital, this F is not small, it will be considered as a mistake. And if there's any mistake here in this half a mark, you will not be awarded half a mark for writing the name. So this has to be completely correct. If only when it's entirely correct, you get your 1 mark here. Do not use a mixed format. That means you need to write the subscription and the from address on the same side. There's a correlation between the essay grade and the marks given for expression, those 5 marks I told you. So it is important for you to write good compositions. Only when your composition is good, the grade that you have got in the composition is good, you will get good marks out of 5 in expression. The breakup of marks in the letter is given in this way. The examiner or your teacher will write like this in your papers: format, content and expression. And then she will write FCE and then she'll give you 3, 2 and 5. So hopefully you will get full 10 marks. Let's see something else. This is a sample of a formal letter. So I just want to repeat, preferably stick to the left alignment. Everything is sticking to the left. I have chosen not to use punctuation marks here, so I have avoided them. It's up to you. If you put a comma, fine. If you don't put, that's also fine. But I've chosen to put a full stop here. Address should be at least of 3 lines. Leave a line, then write the date. Now, leaving a line is not compulsory, but I insist because it looks neat, it is presentable, and it gives a good visual appeal. Leave a line again, write the address of the addressee again in at least 3 lines. Write a pin code if you wish, it's good. Put the comma if you want, otherwise make sure you don't put it anywhere else. The designation and the town is important. This should be a part of the address. Leave a line again. This is your salutation, dear sir, stick to the margin. Start from the line, start from the margin. Now here, this is a sample letter talking about increasing incidences of chain snatching. So it's a very to the point short letter. So I'll just read it out. I would like to draw your attention to the disturbing increase in cases of chain snatching in my area. So you have highlighted the problem straight away. Yesterday, an elderly woman was relieved of a gold chain at about 7 p.m. You have reported a matter when she was taking an evening walk. So all necessary details are included in one line. The assailants, who were on a motorcycle, caused her severe injuries as they yanked it off her neck. So we have given a picture of how the crime was committed. This is the second incident this week and has caused great alarm in this otherwise peaceful locality. Now, this is the problem. We have highlighted at least 2 points. What the problem is, 2 problems have been highlighted. Now, what comes in the next paragraph? You leave a line to show change of paragraph. I request you to kindly arrange for patrolling in our streets. Perhaps a few policemen in plain clothes may be able to nab these culprits who seem to be getting bolder day by day. Now, here you have given 2 suggestions. They did ask, the question says, write a letter about increasing incidences of chain snatching, but you are giving 2 suggestions. One is police patrolling, and the second is perhaps a few policemen in plain clothes. Getting them stationed over here, getting them to monitor the situation might help. So you have your 4 points. You get your 2 marks, full 2 marks in the content. Then you end politely. I sincerely hope that you will do the needful and restore the peace and security of our area. Thanking you. You can put a comma. You can put a comma. Thanking you. If you put a full stop, that is also okay. Yours faithfully. That's the only way to end your formal letter. Though at times yours truly is accepted, but my advice is stick to this. Yours faithfully, don't put an apostrophe, make sure the Y is capital, the F is small, and then write your full name. There's no need of capital letters. Do not put a signature, it's not required. So with this, I think you have understood the layout of a formal letter. If you write all this correctly, 3 marks for format are guaranteed. If you ensure 4 points in your formal letter, 2 marks are guaranteed. And you need to guarantee your 5 marks for expression by writing a good composition. Thank you, children. Happy learning.